What if the fate of the world rested in the tiny, chubby hands of a newborn baby? Not a superhero, not a trained soldier, a baby. Born under the blaze of a green comet, glowing with mysterious energy, this baby wouldn't just change a family. He'd shake the foundations of science, spark a war between brothers, and force one ordinary kid to make an impossible choice. Today we're recapping Super Charlie, released as an animated retelling inspired by the Swedish children's book series created by Camilla Läckberg. But this version is absolutely insane. But let's rewind the clock, all the way back to the beginning, 50 years ago. The skies over a sleepy Swedish village suddenly ignited with light. A green comet, massive, streaked across the atmosphere like a dragon's breath. The people of the village looked up in awe, but had no idea their lives were about to change. Meanwhile, on the snowy ground below, the village children were gathered for the annual Encore bike race. It wasn't just any race. This was the event of the year. At the front of the pack, two brothers. Anton, the local legend, undefeated. He rode a flashy, ultra-advanced mountain bike known as the Flyer 9000, a machine so futuristic, it looked like it came from a secret military lab. Next to him was his younger brother, Infurio, quiet, shy, constantly overshadowed. He had no sponsors, no cheering crowd, and no gadgets. Just a hand-me-down bike and raw determination. From the very start, you could feel the tension between them. As the starting whistle blew, Anton surged forward. His bike practically pedaled itself. But as they hit the forest trail, Anton activated a hidden gadget on his handlebars, triggering a trap that sent Infurio flying over the handlebars and straight into the dirt. But Anton didn't even look back. Infurio lay there, bruised and heartbroken, staring up at the night sky. And that's when it happened. The comet, still roaring through the heavens, suddenly split open, scattering a shower of sparkling green dust over the village, then entered Infurio's body. He coughed. Something powerful awakened inside him. He stood up, trembling, not with fear, but with fury. Then in one sudden burst, Infurio launched back onto his bike, rocketing down the trail like a missile. He didn't just catch up to Anton, he passed him. Anton looked back in disbelief. How? But before he could finish, Infurio looked down at his shocked brother and said just one chilling sentence. From now on, you work for me. That was the day the world changed. Fast forward 50 years. The comet that once transformed a boy into a monster is returning. And Anton, now a much older and much more bitter man, hasn't moved on. He lives alone in a cluttered forest lab filled with half-finished inventions. He's built a massive energy extractor, a machine specifically designed to harness the power of the comet when it returns. His goal? To become what his brother became, or better yet, to surpass him. Anton is no longer trying to win a race. He's trying to take back his life. But while he watches the skies for cosmic dust, a completely different family in the same town is watching the skies for something else, a baby. Meet the Anderson family. There's Will, a 10-year-old boy with a wild imagination, a love for superheroes, and a deep yearning to be noticed. His mom, a best-selling novelist who's constantly locked away in a writing cave. His dad, a police officer who once made a humiliating mistake by raiding a kindergarten instead of a criminal base, and now spends most of his time buried in case files trying to redeem himself. And his older sister, Hera, she barely looks up from her phone long enough to notice her own reflection. Will feels invisible, ignored, forgotten. Just another background character in his own home. But today is supposed to change that. Today is the day Charlie is born, and Will stands quietly in the corner, trying to smile, while something cosmic brews just above. The green comet returns, but this time, it doesn't miss. As Anton and his bumbling assistant scramble to activate the energy extractor in the forest, the machine sputters, backfires, and launches the dust in the wrong direction. Instead of hitting Anton's lab, the cloud of glowing green particles drifts and finds its way into the hospital nursery, right into the room where baby Charlie lies sleeping. No one notices, except Will. As days pass, things spiral. No one listens. No one notices when Will gets bullied at school. No one cares when he comes home with a black eye. Not even a, "What happened?" from his parents. All attention is on Charlie, the golden child. But Charlie, he's not normal. And one night, while everyone's asleep, Will catches him on camera speaking perfect Swedish, a talking baby. Will's eyes widen in horror. This isn't just weird, this is impossible. A few days later, Will finds himself in a situation that no 10-year-old should be in. Babysitting. It's the weekend, and while his mom is deep into another mystery novel draft, the full responsibility of watching baby Charlie falls squarely on Will's shoulders. Will isn't thrilled. "I'm trying to solve an actual crime," he tells his mom. "Your only crime is avoiding diaper duty," she replies. But Will isn't joking. He's been tracking patterns in local robberies for weeks. He thinks he's onto something. It could be huge. So what does he do? He straps Charlie into the stroller and takes him on a stakeout. Totally normal babysitting, right? He follows his hunch to a warehouse near the edge of town, a place he's convinced is the robber's main base, Charlie Coos. But the moment Will peeks around a corner, he freezes. Masked thieves are already there, loading crates into trucks, carrying what looks like high-tech police gear. But then, Charlie giggles. The thieves stop. Silence. Will puts his hand over the baby's mouth, whispering, "Please be quiet." Too late. A thug rounds the corner and spots them. "Hey!" Will scrambles backward, shielding Charlie. "Don't hurt us!" The thug raises a hand to strike, but the blow never comes. Instead, he's blasted off his feet and slams into a crate. Will opens his eyes, stunned. Charlie is hovering. "What the?" Another thief rushes in with a gun. Charlie squints. The gun flies out of the man's hand, smacking him in the face. A forklift starts rolling toward Will. Charlie waves his hand. Thieves start screaming. "It's a baby! A baby with powers!" They scatter like mice. Will stares at him, speechless. But the question is, will the world let him stay that way? Because while Will is still wrapping his head around what happened, someone else is watching. From a security feed inside the warehouse.
Quick question for you. If your baby brother had superpowers, would you tell the world or keep it secret? Drop your answer in the comments. I'll be reading all.
Anton. He finally knows who stole the comet's gift. His mouth curves into a slow, chilling smile. "Found you," he whispers. Back at home, Will can barely sit still. His heart's pounding, his brain's racing. He just saw his baby brother lift a forklift and freeze a guy with a burp. That's not normal. But how do you explain that to parents who barely believe you exist? Later that night, Will records a video. Deep down, a part of him wishes he was the one born under the comet. He was the one with powers. He was the one everyone noticed. And somewhere else in town, one person agrees. Anton. After identifying Charlie through the warehouse footage, Anton launches phase 2 of his plan. The extraction. He modifies his machine, a twisted mix of alien tech and stolen government gear, to drain the comet's energy from a living host. But he knows brute force won't work. He needs access to the baby. And to get that, he needs a weak link. That weak link is Will. Anton begins his approach, carefully, slowly, under the guise of being a friendly, eccentric scientist. He finds Will at the park, approaches him like an old friend, starts talking about superheroes. "You ever feel like you were meant to be more?" he asks. Will nods. "You were cheated. What if I told you there was a way to get those powers? A way to be stronger than Charlie?" Anton hands him a glowing silver bottle. "Give this to him. Just one drop. He won't even notice." Will stares at the bottle. "What's in it?" Anton smiles. "Justice." That night, Will stares at the bottle. Charlie giggles in his crib. "Maybe it's nothing," Will whispers. "Just a vitamin." But deep down, he knows. Still, the jealousy burns. And finally, he does it. He slips a single drop. The next morning, Charlie doesn't wake up. Will shakes the crib. "Charlie, wake up! Wake up!" Nothing. Charlie's eyes remain closed. Panic sets in. Will backs away, horrified. What did he just do? Will runs. Tears streak his face. He doesn't know where to go, only that he has to make it right. Back at the house, Charlie is being carried away by Anton in black suits. Behind them, Will tries to stop them. "Where are you taking him? He's just a baby." Anton gives a small wave, but Will won't give up. Along the way, something unexpected happens. The school bullies, who once made his life miserable, see the panic in his eyes. "We've got scooters. Let's save the baby." "What?" Will blinks. And just like that, he tracked the limo to City Hall, where a massive award ceremony is being held. Will sneak in through the service entrance. The mayor is preparing to present Charlie's dad with a medal for exceptional service to the community. But in the basement, something horrifying is happening. Charlie is strapped to a glowing steel table inside Anton's mobile lab. The energy extractor hums to life. Charlie stirs weakly, eyes fluttering open. But he's too drained to move. But just before he injects the power serum into himself, Will sneaks in and switches the vials. He ducks behind a cabinet and waits. Anton, unaware, injects himself and cackles. "Yes, yes!" But then, nothing. His smile fades. "What's going on?" Infurio has arrived. She glares at Anton. "You wasted your shot." And then she turns to Charlie. "Let me finish what I started 50 years ago." She fires a blast, but before it hits, Charlie's eyes snap open. Boom! A golden force field explodes from his body, shielding himself and Will. Charlie floats into the air. Infurio snarls. "You're just a baby." Charlie responds by teleporting behind her midair. She rips a bell tower off its base and hurls it. Charlie stops it mid-flight and blasts it into ash. She grabs Will's parents from the balcony above and tosses them in opposite directions. Charlie hesitates. Who does he save? Then suddenly a new power erupts from within, a radiant 360-degree shield that expands and catches both parents before they hit the ground. But Infurio isn't done yet. She charges a final weapon, a contraction ray designed to shrink anything into oblivion. She fires. Will, standing behind her, grabs a reflective silver serving tray and hurls it. The beam reflects. Zap! She shrinks rapidly until she's the size of a rubber ducky. Silence. Everyone stares. Charlie floats down. Will walks up beside him. They exchange a look. Brothers not by blood, but by bond. Everyone erupts in cheers. As the dust settles and emergency crews arrive, laughter replaces panic. When it's over, only Will remembers the truth. Charlie looks up at him, smiles, and burps softly. And that's the real superpower, choosing who gets to know the legend. Oh, and here's a hidden gem for you. Did you know Super Charlie was originally a children's book written by Swedish crime author Camilla Läckberg for her own son? That's right. Before it became this animated action comedy, it was just a bedtime story. Now that's evolution. The legacy lives on. Weeks later, Charlie and Will sit in the living room. Mom walks in, holding her newest book, titled Super Charlie. It's fiction, she says with a wink. As the camera pans out, we see a poster above their bed. A superhero and his sidekick. Only this time, Will is the one wearing the cape. Because in the end, Charlie may have the powers, but Will chose to be the hero. If you enjoyed this crazy ride through the world of Super Charlie, smash that like button, subscribe for more epic animated recaps, and turn on notifications so you don't miss what's coming next. Got a hidden gem movie or insane animated short you want us to break down? Drop it in the comments. We're watching. Until next time, stay super, star,